is the season of things going bump in the night, including my belly. So for those late night cravings, I'm whipping up my any cheese dip that is surrounded by easy pull-apart pizza dough. I mean, what more could you want when it's late at night? Maybe you had a cocktail and you want some cheese. So I'm gonna show you how to make this dip. It's super versatile. So in this bowl, I've got a cup of cream cheese that I've just creamed together with about 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. That kind of thins it out a little bit, makes it a bit more spreadable, and it gives it a little bit of extra tang. So now this is the base of any good cheese dip, in my opinion. Cream cheese gives you creaminess, that mayonnaise gives you a little bit more like dipability, but now we gotta build that flavor. So into there, I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. That just kind of cuts through the richness of that cheese. And also I love mustard. Essentially this recipe is a bit of a, hey, what do I have left on my charcuterie board? I'm gonna mash it into a dip, which is what you do late at night sometimes when you want some cheese. So I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a stir. And then into there, just to keep, I've made this joke so many times this week, but I'm gonna do it again, just to keep the vampires away, we gotta use some garlic. Yeah. All right, so I've got 2, actually that is a monster clove of garlic. You wanna use 2, I'm gonna stick with 1 because this is the biggest clove of garlic I've ever seen. Huge. So I'm just gonna rasp that right on into that bowl with that cream cheese and that mustard, that little bit of mayo. And again, I do not like chopping garlic. I'm always about that rasp life. It is a good thing because all you do is rasp it and then boom, garlic's in the bowl. Totally breezy. Now I'm gonna give that a mix up. And then this is where we start to get flavorful. We're gonna add in a little bit of some cayenne pepper just for a tiny bit of heat, just a little pinch. But if you don't like cayenne pepper, you can feel free to sub this out with smoked paprika. You could do a little bit of cumin. You could even do curry powder. That would be really, really nice in here. But again, this just gives it a little bit of heat. And now it's time for more cheese, because that's how I do things. So you basically want about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of any sort of grated cheese. This is how I use up all those little nubs that have been maybe sitting out on my cheese board, you know, at the beginning of the night. So here I've got 1/2 cup of grated smoked mozzarella, which gives you a really nice smoked flavor, and a little bit of stretch. I've also got 1/2 cup of Gruyere here, which is a really, really tasty kind of Swiss cheese. It's super nutty. And then for the classic, AKA the king of cheese, 1/2 cup of Parmigiano Reggiano. Now, Parm isn't super stretchy, so I'm glad I have that mozzarella in there, but you could even throw in some blue cheese in here if that's your bag. That would be delicious. Just give that a mix up until everything kind of coats that cheese. And this is where you get to add in additional flavors. So if you were to just do cream cheese, mustard, little bit of mayonnaise, and whatever grated cheese you want, that would be a great cheese dip. But I'm gonna start adding in even more flavor. So the first thing I want is just a couple tablespoons of some fresh herbs. So I'm gonna use a little bit of fresh rosemary, which is truly one of the easiest herbs to take the leaves off. Anytime I'm working with like oregano, and I'm like, ugh, I gotta pick these leaves off. No one's got time for that. Rosemary, it's just zip, and you're done. Total, and it smells amazing. So I'm just gonna chop that up a little roughly. If you wanted to go with fine herbs, basil in here would be amazing. Tarragon would be delicious. Oregano, if you want to pick it, would be great. Add that on in. And then for even more flavoring, I'm gonna add in about 1/4 cup of dry white wine. This is totally optional, but it gives it almost like a little bit of a fondue vibe, which is really nice. Give that a mix together. Now, fondue is something that my mom always made weirdly on New Year's Eve. All of our neighbors would come over and we would just have like pots and pots of melted cheese. So I think it's like a good late night party vibe food. Any sort of hot melted cheese is a good party to me. All right, now into there, I'm also gonna add in some caramelized onion jam. Here, if you wanted to, you could do just regular caramelized onions. You could do chopped up bacon, you could do sausage, really anything that you like. Mix it on in here. So give that a bit of a mix. And now, if you wanted to, you could just transfer this on into a baking pan and pop it in your 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's baked and golden brown. Or you could go my style and do little pull-apart pizza buns. So I've got some pizza dough here that I bought at the grocery store. And on top of there, I'm just gonna brush those with a couple tablespoons of some melted butter. If you wanted, you could do garlic butter. That would be absolutely delish. Now, I do want to season this with a little bit of salt, because crunchy salt, it kind of gives it almost like a pretzel vibe, which is awesome. Scatter that around. And then I'm gonna add in this amazing cheese dip. Just pop that right on in the center, because these babies bake alongside each other. Now, if you're doing the pizza dough, pop that into the oven for about 25 minutes, and you are gonna end up with truly the best thing in the world, and that is cheese dip. Like, come on, look at this. Like, absolutely out of control. If you wanna be fancy, add a little bit of rosemary on there. But for me, you just pull that little pizza dough out, give it a bit of a rip, and then give it a big ol' dunkaroo. Oh my gosh. Listen, I took a big dunk. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.